Root Riders and Valkyries are amazing together. You can use them as part of a Queen Charger attack or a mass ground attack, and bases at TH16 aren't ready. Let's start on an anti-2-star base. Have a look at how toxic that core is. So we're going to start our Queen Charge on the top side. Now, how you approach bases with this Queen Charge Root Rider and Valk army is the exact same as how you'd approach it with Queen Charge Root Riders. You'd do the same entry. We have the Flame Flinger. Essentially, the only discernible difference in the army is you're dropping 40 space, which is 2 Root Riders, and adding 40 space, which is the 5 Valks. By the way, notice that Garke's Valks aren't even max level, and the upgrade to level 11 is a really big upgrade, so this attack will only get more powerful if Garke upgrades the troops he's actually using. So Queen Charge coming in, doing nice work. The Flame Flinger on the top side is doing nice work as well. Now, obviously, you never want to drop Root Riders in an army. They are extremely strong troop, arguably the strongest troop in the game at the moment. But they do have a few weaknesses, one of them being they can't deal very well with defensive heroes or defensive skeletons, something that Valks are fantastic at. Now, obviously, instead of the Valks, you could bring a Titan, but when you've only got 40 space, bringing one Titan isn't worth it because it will spend most of its time just cleaning up all the trash buildings. For instance, he's going to send his main push in from over here. With the 5 Valks, they clean up the trash really quickly, and they're going to go in the base with the Root Riders. But the Titan would get stuck on this storage for ages and wouldn't be very useful. So that's another benefit of the Valks over the Titans. And then obviously the Valks are nice as well for the DPS they do. Especially if you can bring 5 of them. So the Queen Charge is going really nicely. Just about time to start the Root Riders and the Valks. The Flame Flinger's done an awesome job on the top side, getting rid of the Eagle Artillery. And here we go. So we put the 4 Root Riders down, Rage Gem, then we make sure we've got the Poison Lizard on the Warden and the Valks. And look, the Valks go straight in after the King. They are really good at targeting anything that targets your troops. Look at that Skeleton Trap. Bam! Gone already. And the trash buildings have already been cleaned up really well. Now, there is the King as well, is helping out. We haven't used the King on the flank here. But notice one thing, and this is what I love about this. When you bring the 6 Root Riders by themselves, you have to send the Royal Champion with them, because if the Headhunters don't kill the heroes, you need the Royal Champion there as an insurance option. But Garke has not deployed the Royal Champion yet, and he is instead going to use the Royal Champion on the back end of the base to clear out the flanking defenses, which is what the Royal Champion is strongest at. The Royal Champion, don't get me wrong, she's still strong when she's in the core of the base, but she's much stronger at clearing flanking defenses like you see right now. So when you bring the Valks, as they're going to go in and get rid of a few of these skeleton straps that pop here, when you bring the Valks, you're not only backing up your Root Riders really well, you're also allowing yourself to use the Royal Champion to clear down the flanking defenses. And as you can see here, it works so effectively because the Root Riders and the Valks, they will, particularly the Valks, will die out. It's unlikely they're going to survive the whole attack, but they've cleared the core of the base, and now the RC can clear the rest, and this base got completely wrecked. I love this approach. It's so, I don't know, I like it when 2 troops work perfectly in synergy, synergistically, if you want to use a bigger word for that, and they are a perfect combination. Box base with this army. Let's see what Garke does decide to do. So starting the Queen Charge on the right, and whilst it looks like he's going for the Town Hall here, in reality, he's not. He's hoping the Queen will go into this wall break that he's made. Then he's going to send the Root Riders and Valks straight into the Town Hall, and I guess we'll see how strong the Valks are going through the Town Hall. So Queen deals with the defensive Queen easily. Queen gets pulled up. Even bringing the Apprentice Warden with the Queen Charge here. Now, this surprised me, but this is one benefit, I guess, of having the Apprentice Warden with the army. If you think you're going to do a really tough judge, bring the Apprentice Warden with the Queen Charge. If not, bring the Apprentice Warden with the Root Riders. I still think of this one, probably could have brought the Apprentice Warden with the Root Riders, because look at this. The Ricochet Cannon does a lot of damage to the Apprentice Warden, but thankfully, the Apprentice Warden stood on the same tile as the Queen and got the healing effect as well. Beautiful wall break. Look at how far we're getting into the core of the base here. And the healing's still getting both the Apprentice Warden and the Queen. How fortunate for us. Don't know why he put the poison spell down there. Now, he's only just put the Flame Flinger down now. I wouldn't recommend this. I'd put the Flame Flinger down much earlier. but maybe there is some method to the madness that Garke is doing here. Queen gets into the core of the base. Now it's time to start the Root Riders to take some damage off our Queen. Rage Gem yet again, and we've got the VALKS coming in with the King. And this is why I love the idea of not sending the Royal Champion with your main push, because the Royal Champion is so bad at getting through the Town Hall. But VALKS, they're not great, but they're definitely better than the Royal Champion. Also worth noting that the VALKS can activate the Town Hall, whereas the Root Riders won't unless the Town Hall's active already. Flame Flinger opens on the top side. We've got our Root Riders pushing through the core. The King is still pretty healthy. The Queen ability is about to go off. There it goes. And we are still sitting on the Royal Champion. Here she comes in. She's going to use the Yetis to tank her, get rid of that Ricochet Cannon that's hurting our troops. Notice our Root Riders are really low at the moment, so we're not overkilling this as much as the first base, but they've done their job. The Root Riders, their job is to clear out the core of the base. The King can help with his ability when he uses it. By the way, notice, doesn't have the Giant Gauntlet. I don't think Garke farmed the Giant Gauntlet with this account, which is unfortunate, but it's also a sign that this army can get even stronger yet again, not just by maxing out the VALKS, but also by getting the Gauntlet on the King. This army will go to the next level. Royal Champion finishes off the base. Still got the Yetis from the Flame Flinger. King hits that. Valk on the outside of the base. Look at that. That Valk has survived the entire battle. When I initially recorded this video, I thought Root Riders and VALKS would only be used together in Queen Charge attacks. But if you've been in High Legends in the past week, you'll have noticed the increasing popularity of this army right here, Mass Root Rider and Mass Valk. The army is quite simply ridiculous, and I have no idea how to stop it. I've been incredibly ineffective at doing so, because as you can see here, this is my defensive replay. So Jojo comes in here, nice little Yeti bomb, and we're setting up the funnel for our spam attack. Now, no offense to, I don't know if it's Yo-Yo or Jojo here, this attack's not particularly well executed. It's a bit of a mess in the end, but it's still 3 stars my base, and I think that's the sign of a good spam strategy at Town Hall 16. So we've got a few Root Riders and a couple of VALKS setting a funnel on the top side. Then we have our main push coming down the bottom here, and yeah, it looks incredibly spammy. It is a little bit spammy, but that doesn't take away from how effective it is. Warden ability goes off early here. That's not just to negate this first Rage Tower and all the defenses in it. It's also because a lot of our VALKS were low health, and we can't afford them to die. I've got 2 skeleton traps in this compartment here, and if the VALKS die, they can definitely put in some work. In saying that, there is a Titan in this army comp as well. Now look at this. We've got the RC down the bottom. I really like this. The RC went in and after the Monolith there with the help of the Spirit Fox. But have a look. This hit is not going that well at all. It's a bit of a mess all over. The single Inferno on the top side was putting in work. But slowly, bit by bit, the base is disappearing. We've got the RC on the bottom. We've got 2 freeze spells for her, should we use them. And he does use one here. Unfortunately, does not freeze the skeleton traps. We've got the Gauntlet bug. I mean, everyone uses it at this point. The Gauntlet bug is ridiculous. I don't understand why it hasn't been patched yet. RC's coming in. I don't know if she quite gets rid of the scatter here, but it doesn't matter. All the troops are going to come in and finish off the job. And that right there is a triple, and it's not an overkill here, trust me. We're about to show you an overkill attack with this army. But it's convincing enough. The King is full HP, the Warden's up, we got the Frosty and a couple of Root Riders, and this base had double Rage Tower. There's a lot of DPS on the base here, but he still was able to push through it. And I think that says it all. So nicely done here from Yo-Yo. Let's move on to another Mass Valk, Mass Root Rider attack. The great thing about this Mass Valk, Mass Root Rider army is you can bring any spell comp you want with the attack strategy. You'll see Maverick here is bringing a Zap Quake version. He's bringing 7 Zaps, so going for Ricochet Cannons as well. Unfortunately, missed the multi. He definitely could have got that. But yeah, coming in with the Zap version of the army here. I know, for instance, I've also seen Nicholas, a clanmate of mine here. I've seen him get tripled by this army with 9 skeleton spells. Yes, you heard me correctly. 9 skeleton spells. So you can bring whatever spell comp you want with this army. It's flexible in that way. Just make sure you know kind of what you're doing with the spells and you'll get the results. So we've used the zap nice and early. We're going to save onto the Warden ability as late as possible, and the way Maverick does that here is bringing a heal spell. Now, heal spells aren't that effective at Town Hall 16, but he doesn't need it to be insanely effective. He needs it to keep his troops alive just that little bit longer so he can delay the Warden ability. And have a look at this. We've now got the Gauntlet glitch. That's something that's really strong with this army. You're always going to take advantage of the Gauntlet glitch because the King's meant to go inside the base with the Warden. And this is wrecked. In fact, that's underdoing it. This is completely demolished. Sorry, Nicholas, had to do it to you. But this army is ridiculous. And for those wondering, Nicholas today reset at 5,992 trophies. Pretty high reset, and you're running into people like this mowing down ring bases, double poison tower ring base, double rage tower box base. It doesn't matter what it is, you're going to get lots of 3 stars with this army. And if you ask me, if you've got the VALKS upgraded, I think this Root Rider army with the VALKS is stronger than Root Riders and Titans we've had on the channel recently. In fact, at the end of this video, I'll link it on the left. But that's it for this one. What do you think of this combination? Have you tried it out? Will you try it out? Start upgrading your Valkyries because they're insane.